1.8. Loans. When we borrow large sums of money from a bank, they make us pay it all back in small monthly payments. And in order to find this, we need to be able to calculate the monthly payment, the total amount repaid, and the finance charge. This is just the interest. So that's the extra money collected by the bank. The amortization period is the amount of time needed to pay back the loan. So the formula to figure out the monthly payment is the principal amount times the chart value divided by 1,000. So just as a reminder here, this is how to calculate the monthly payment. So the steps in doing this is first, determine the principal amount. So this is the amount that you're borrowing. So that includes taxes some of the time. There are lots of different ways that we can calculate taxes. So if it's both, we can either multiply it by 1.13 or we can multiply it by 0.13. Now this one right here gives you just taxes. And this one, let me zoom in here a little bit. This is total plus taxes. If you are just looking for the GST, you can either multiply by 1.05 or 0.05. I'm just going to highlight this actually. So if you want the total plus the taxes, you multiply by the yellow, and if you want just the taxes, you use the green. And so then of course the last one is going to be PST, and that is either you multiply by 1.08 if you want the total plus taxes, or if you just want the PST, the taxes, that didn't change. You can multiply by 0.08 like that. Again, I'm going to highlight that in green. That's if you want just the taxes. The second thing that you need to do is determine the chart value. So when I say chart value, I mean this one right here. So there's going to be a bit of a note on this in your notes, but this right here is the number of years. That's the amortization period. That's how many years it takes you to pay back the loan. And then on this side right here, that is where your interest rate is going to be. So the interest rate is down the left-hand side of your chart, and the number of years that the loan is for is up at the top. Okay, so when you want to determine the total amount paid, then take the monthly payment and multiply it by the number of months that the loan is for, and then to determine the finance charge or the interest, take the total amount paid and subtract the amount borrowed. Okay, so the principal. This is kind of a bit of a quite a bit of a list, but when you see it actually in play in a question, I think you'll be able to get it no problem. So Tim wants to buy a home entertainment system for $6,500 plus taxes. He finds one that he likes and takes out a personal fixed rate loan for 3 years at 5.5%. How much will it cost him each month? And B, how much will he pay in interest? Now, first things first, let's figure out what this plus taxes mean. So you can either have GST, or you can have PST, or you can have both. And if it says plus taxes, it means both. So I'm going to take my 6,500, and since I want the total amount plus the taxes, so for both, and the total plus taxes, I'm going to use this yellow calculation here. So I'm going to multiply it by 1.13. When I multiply by 1.13, I get 7,345. Okay, so this is our principal. Now, I just want to pause for a second here, and whenever we're talking about personal loans like this, I equals PRT, don't use this. I guarantee you that some of you will be led to using this because we have time and we have a percent rate and we have a principal. But the reason why we have the chart, because we have the chart, we've eliminated the need to use this this formula. Okay, so you don't use this, chart only. Okay. So how much will it cost him each month? We need to put that into the formula. So we need to have that 7,345 times some value that we're going to find in the chart, and we need to divide that by 1,000. So let's make note here, 3 years at 5.5%. So I'm going to highlight two things here. 3 years, oh, that wasn't a highlighter. 3 years. And 5.5. So where the two cross, that is where that is the value that we need. So the value that we need here is 3024. And when I multiply that out on my calculator, so literally I put in 7345 times 30.24 and divided by 1,000, I get 222.11. This right here is my monthly payment. And that's my answer for A. B, how much will he pay in interest? So we take the monthly payment and we multiply it by how many payments he makes. So I know that he's making 12 payments per year, and we are going to be doing this for 3 years. When I multiply all that together, I get $7,995.96. So it says right here, to determine the finance charge or how much he'll pay in interest, take the total paid and subtract from the amount borrowed. Well, this right here is his total paid, and the amount borrowed is this right here. That's our principal. So I'm going to say interest equals 7995.96 minus 7345, and I get a total interest of $650.96. Now, when looking at some of the questions, they might, this is pretty part and parcel for what you can expect. The only kind of curveball that the worksheet questions might throw you is you might get like 5 3/4%. That is simply going to be 5.75. So make sure that you can convert between quarters and decimals.